What's up, people? This is the Vinyl Casket. I'm your host. I am Nick. This is the home to the lamest taste. You know it. We know it. Please do me a favor here on Twitch and here on YouTube. Follow and subscribe. Like and comment. Let me know what you're reading this week, what movies you're watching, what games you're playing. Anything about you, I want to know. Follow my Instagrams at Vinyl Casket and Vinyl Casket Comics. All the comics we're about to talk about in this comic review are already posted up there with many little posts about them. So let's get this started. It is a great snow day. You know the drill. We pick them up, we read them, we review them. We will start off with Indie, then Marvel, then DC. We only have 2 indies, both from Image this week. We're going to start off with issue 3 of Hellcop. So this is a crazy series, right? The art is very weird. If you've ever watched, I always forget what it's called. I never remember what it's called. Reboot, which was like an early 2000s animated show that had like these weird 3D graphics that were like way ahead of its time, but also really, really cheesy. That's how the art is in here, but like for some reason it feels like it fits. It's cringy at moments, but then like you look at what's going around and how the character's drawn to look all kind of weird and funky as a demon, you realize like, oh, that's like satire. Like that makes sense. Interesting world, interesting story. I love that they keep expanding this really mysterious like universe that we really don't know that much about. I'm loving it. This is part of the Image Shadow line. Subline. They're celebrating Image's 30th anniversary. Solid issue. I'm gonna give it we do it out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 7, maybe a 6.5, a 7. Staying in Image, we have Scott Snyder's. Scott Snyder? We got Noctera. This is the Blacktop Bill special. Yeah. I don't know. Something about the art here was not. It's definitely not the same. I think it's supposed to be the same artist as the regular series, but the art did not match the main line, in my opinion. It felt sketchy, it felt cheesy, it felt rushed, it felt like something was missing. It wasn't what I love out of the original series. The story itself feels forced. It feels like they even say that this is supposed to be being told like right after issue 4, but like we're way past that. We're on like issue 7 is about to come out. So like, okay, so we already passed this. Like now you're saying some event happened where they just tell a story. This is just like a word of mouth story happening without ever seeing the characters that are actually talking. It's just constant imagery of like what if events happening of what the story they're telling. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it was presented. I didn't like the way the story was told. I didn't like the way how it's forced to feel like it fits into this puzzle piece storyline without them making it feel connected, without visually showing that it's happening. You're just kind of giving me this imagery of like stuff that doesn't exist. I don't know. I was lost when they were following this guy that they said it might be Blacktop Bill, and I was very lost. I couldn't feel connected. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. I'm just gonna chalk it off as it being a special. I've loved everything that's coming out of this title except for this, so I'm just gonna chalk it up as a special gone wrong. We have issue 6 of XMen by Marvel. As we jump into Marvel again, I felt lost. Like, did I miss something? Like, I think they're trying to say that in the last issue or something, Cyclops died and it was publicly seen and the world's acknowledged his death, so they can't resurrect him, or they did resurrect him, but they can't show that he was resurrected because the world doesn't know that they're doing resurrection. But like, how would they not if all these mutants that have been known to be dead over all the years are now running around the streets like nothing ever happened? I know the guy from the Daily Bugle has been trying to slowly decipher and expose them, but then at the end of this book, you find out that Scott Summers kind of finds out that it's not the guy from the Bugle that he thought it was, because that guy has no idea. So who has he been talking to? Who has been following them around? It said the whole storyline, like punchline here is like, what happened to Captain Krakoa? But this is the introduction of Captain Krakoa. And then the next issue is supposed to be who he is. Thank you. Oh, God. I don't know if I want to even say your name. Piss Baby. Thank you so much for entering the chat. Thank you. We're talking about my daily... Oh, thank you for the follow. We're talking about my pulls for the week. We're doing reviews. We did my indies, which are just 2 books from Image with Noctera and Hellcop. This is issue 6 of XMen, the main title. And I've loved this title. I was praising it the other day. Before I read this, I was talking a big game about it, right? I was talking it up to Omni City Comics on Instagram and Manny Reed's Comics on Instagram and YouTube. I was talking it up. I was telling them how this is like a solid, like, self-contained Monster of the Week book. And I guess when the events of Cyclops in the last issue, this is now kind of like, I don't know. I feel like they should have like introduced Captain Krakoa better. I did enjoy the Sunfire stuff. I thought that was really cool. But I felt lost overall. So hopefully they fix that in the next issue and then we're good. But I'm just gonna give this as a 6.5 out of 10. We have Captain Marvel issue 35. So I'm pretty sure this is the second to last part of the last Marvel storyline. This is part 4. I think there's 5. Cool cover. Really awesome mini event happening in the pages of just this title. I'm happy that this is like built up as this really like monumental, grand schemed event that like feels like it matters without being stretched into multiple titles, having spin-offs and tie-ins. It just is happening in here. This book finally involved more Avengers. They saved all the characters that were like being controlled by the main villain here, and you really get a really interesting storyline being crafted, and I'm really down with it. I want to know what's going on with Janice Vale. They say in the pages here that he's going to get his own little story later in this year, so that's going to be cool. I love seeing all the kids of Marvel. I'm a little confused that that they don't mention and don't show Hulkling in this at all. Maybe he gets brought into the next issue. I would hope so, because the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, are getting pulled into this. So I would have really enjoyed if they had showed him, because he is also a child of Marvel. And all the other children and like descendants of Marvel were kind of involved. But yeah, I originally thought that this was Quasar. It's not. It's Janice Vale. I like this costume they have him in. Really cool, action-packed. It feels like it matters when you're reading this. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Solid story. We have issue 84 with a variant cover for SpiderMan, the Amazing Spider-Man. So the last 2 issues dealt with Peter Parker getting out of his coma and trying to figure himself out. We're finally back with Ben Reilly, the former Scarlet Spider, heading up the mantle, and he is tasked with this little event to go like, hey, Doc Ops is breaking into Beyond Corporation, which this Spider-Man works for Beyond Corporation, breaking into these bases in these labs and like stealing stuff. You got to do something about it. He gets his ass handed to him by Doc Ock, and he's like kind of berated for it. Like, this is a villain that regular Spider-Man would have taken care of, no problem. You got your ass handed. And the problem here is that Doc Ock is very vengeful right now because of in curing Peter from the radiation. He found out the Beyond had stolen stuff from him from when he was the Superior Spider-Man. They've referenced that here, and he really wants it back. So it's really cool the drive they give his character in this book. They really make him feel like he wants something, like he's not just doing this because he's a villain. He's doing this because this is like for himself. Like he's trying to get his shit back. I really hate Beyond Corporation. I hate that whole setup. They make you hate it. A reoccurring character that works for I can't think of his name now. I think it's Doug. Reoccurring employee for Beyond Corporation that can never catch a break. He's always getting caught up in stuff. He's back. I love that interaction. That was fun. It was a solid book, and I'm gonna give it a. I hate Beyond. I'm gonna give it a 7. No, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think 7.5. Sorry, I'm fighting myself for this. 7.5. It was pretty solid. But it wasn't. It could have been better. Okay, last Marvel book of the week. We have issue 4 of Inferno. This is the last issue of Inferno with a really cool variant cover. So this is the foreshadowing variant, foreshadowing events to come. I like it. It's simplistic. It's cool. So Hickman really brought home everything that I loved about House and Powers of X, right? So that reshaped the whole X universe. Everything about the X-Men is reshaped. They give you reason, they explain it, it makes sense. And through the occurring in the last 2 years now, all the 15 titles from the X-Men that have been coming out, all have crafted and weaved this tale, this biblical hold on what is the X universe and how this new mutant nation happens, and now there's a planet because that they have, and all sorts of crazy stuff. We've gotten event after event. We had the mini stuff for Wave X. We had Trial of Magneto. We had all the stuff that went down in X Factor. We had X of Swords. We had the Hellfire Gala. We got the Lives and Deaths of Wolverine coming out. We now have Inferno. I wish they would have given this an original title. I do like the font. I do like this, how this looks. I just am kind of mad that they had to build off of an existing thing that really had nothing to do with what was going on. I would have liked an original name, because now down the lines, this mini series is going to always get referred to that big event, Inferno, and it's not the same thing. It's not even close, in my opinion. I would have much rather them do something original with the name, but I enjoyed it. I think it sets up some really cool stuff with Immortal X-Men coming out. I love the stuff with Cypher. I love how Cypher was built up throughout these 4 issues, and Warlock was built up, and I'm really enjoying them. I hope they are more important. I liked it. I thought it was good. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was a solid thing. The series as a whole, I might give a 7, but this last issue was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it. Do I like everything that's going on with the X-Men? No. But I think what Hickman did with this little series, you could read House and Powers, you could read the 21 issues that he did of X-Men before the new series started, and then you can read, maybe X Factor, and then an Excalibur, and then read Swords, X of Swords, and Hellfire Gala, and you have a nice omnibus right there of just fantastic storytelling when you put it all together. Okay, we're on to issue 6 of Superman, Son of Kal-El by Tom Taylor, one of my favorite writers. A series that I'm not sure if I'm going to stick around much longer. I've really been losing interest in just Superman in general. I do like John Kent. I think he's cool. There's just something that's missing that hasn't really got me hooked. I don't really like the new costume with the belt. I do respect and like the development that they're giving this character and how they're making him his own version of Superman, that he cares about these social issues and these political issues, that he needs to do what's right because he knows how the future ends up. He knows one possible way the future can go, and he knows what is best for the world. He knows what justice is. He knows how he should serve the world, and he doesn't like how the world views his service and views what they can do, and he doesn't like the current landscape of this universe, of the world that we live in, and he's trying to use his gifts to do something about it. I think that's incredible. I enjoy it. I love the stuff with his boyfriend. I think that he's a cool character. I love how Damian was in this. I love that his mom was involved. I enjoyed it. I like that where it's going. The artwork is pretty solid too. But there's just something missing. There's something about it that I just don't feel this major like satisfaction when I finish an issue. When I'm reading it, it's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that was funny. Like, but there's nothing where like I'm ecstatic reading this. I'm so excited. I can't wait. There's a joyous thing. There's certain things that I read, like Hellcop, flabbergasted. I was so excited. SpiderMan, I'm just so excited to read it. And the next book we're going to talk about is like every time it comes out, that's just how I feel. I'm just so ecstatic to read it. It's not there for me for this. I'm going to give it a 7. It was good. It's missing something for me. Hopefully he can turn it on, because every other book that I read by Tom Taylor, I'm in it. I love it. Something, maybe it's just I don't like John Kent. Maybe I just don't like Superman. I don't know if that's my problem, but there's something about it that's really making it hard for me to read. We have issue 11 of Suicide Squad with the cardstock cover. We're in it. I love this. I fantastically love this. I love the cover. I love the story. This is the most enjoyable book I'm reading. It's not my favorite book. It's not the best book. It's probably the most well-balanced book between action, drama, and humor that I've been reading. Oh. What's up, Jibbin? How are you? Thank you for tuning in to my live review of my polls for the week. Right now we're talking about issue 11 of the current Suicide Squad run with the cardstock cover. Ambush bug on the cover. Yeah, I'm ecstatic about this series, this issue in general. So we've been following Amanda Waller is pushed into a corner, and she's trying to escape into, I think it's Earth 3 or Earth 8, where she can like take over all these villains and get away, because she knows that they're after her. So it's just really cool to see how like there's another squad being formed that's going after her, and how she's losing members, and the leverage she has over everybody at this point in time. And it's just a really cool dynamic, and like they've been tossed all over the place and they've overlapped with different storylines and different books, and they're all over the place, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm loving especially the adversaries we have to face in this book. Really interesting. I think this is a solid book. It's fun. It's quick. It's a nice read. I'm screaming and laughing the entire time, every month. Easy 8 out of 10. I love this title. And Thompson isn't, in my opinion, writing enough books for DC. I really like this. Maybe it's just that they're really good at using these characters, because I would love them to get some more stuff. Alright, so we got Batman 119 with the ratio cover. Dude, oof. And I was trying to figure out in the store who's the artist, and everyone's looking around. We're trying to figure it out. There is an H here on the lapel of Joker. I'm like, it's got to be H, whatever. I don't see the full name. I'm an idiot, because right here on the barcode, it says variant cover by Dan Hipp. 20 minutes. 4 different people in this comic shop trying to figure out, without looking it up, who drew this cover. Is it on here? Oh, it's not even mentioned on like the creative team up here. So no clue. It was there the entire time. This issue is phenomenal. So we have Williamson, right? I love Williamson's run, Joshua Williamson's run on Flash. I'm loving the stuff he's doing with the solo title with Robin. And I'm really, I hope you're talking about this, because this cover is phenomenal. There's another one coming out soon. I think it's the next issue that's even better. I don't know if I'll be able to get that one. They are ratios, so it depends on really when I show up and how much the guy wants to charge. Usually my guy gives me a good deal, so I usually snag the ones I really want that I let him know about. But the next one's like way better than this, so I'm assuming the price is going to be a little jacked. But yeah, Williamson taking over the issue 2 of his takeover on Batman. We are dealing with Batman Incorporated, which is awesome. We're dealing with Lex Luthor. We're dealing with this new villain, Abyss. I'm really loving this twist and turn kind of roller coaster he's weaving. I like the dynamics he's setting up. I'm really enjoying it. It's really fun to read. And hopefully he doesn't drag this small arc too far. Doesn't make it too important where it changes everything, or if it does, it does it in a very tasteful way. I want this to be like a 4 or 5 issue little arc. You know, we're at the point of the climax where the big battle is going to go down. Get that out of the way. He deals with Luthor. Something happens, and then we now have like a purpose, a reason to be running around with Batman Incorporated. I'd be happy with that. We're not going back to Gotham for a while, so I'm hoping that he can really establish this as a fun, not awful run. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It was really good. And then my final book of the week, last DC book, last book overall. This is probably up there as pick of the week. That won't be happening, because before we get into this book, let me just tell you real quick that there will be a video, not live, a pre-recorded video going up either on my channel or Manny Reads Comics channel. Definitely Manny Reads Comics channel. Every week we're going to try of me, him, and Omnipotent Comics. Is it Omnipotent? Omni-City Comics. Omnipotent Comics on Instagram. Doing a basically ranking video of our pull lists together every week. Building a bracket and basically making competition out of it for pick of the weeks and stuff. That's gonna be starting either this week or next week. It's gonna be really cool. It's definitely gonna be on his channel. I might be uploading it too, just in case. But if you're watching this and it's up, I'll probably have a link in here in this video, a card you can click on. So check that out. And we have issue 3 of Dark Knights of Steel by Tom Taylor. Fantastic. This book, mind-boggling, beautiful. Not only do I love Elseworlds, I love this like medieval style that they've dove into, and I'm loving the way that each character is articulated to fit this scenario. And I think that everyone's pretty much hit. They've hit. Every character has felt like it's right, like it's perfect, and I'm really enjoying it. Artwork is amazing. Story's great. Action's cool. Twists and turns. Makes me feel like I'm connected to it. Like I need this. This is my favorite book right now. This is the best book that I read this week. It was incredible. I know a lot of people were doubting this before it came out when he announced it over the summer. I love it. I think it's great. I think this is his wheelhouse, dude. Marvel Dark Ages, Deceased, Injustice, like that's his forte. Tom Taylor can really, really weave a cool Elseworlds title. This is it. This is 9 out of 10 for me. fantastic limited series. There's 12 issues. Pick them all up, get them, read them, love them. With that being said, that is my polls for the week. If you check out my Instagram at Vinyl Casket Comics, all those are up there with many little blurbs about them. Check them out. Really cool. Check out my other Instagram, Vinyl Casket. And please, here on YouTube and Twitch, follow and subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell. Let me know what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're doing. Are you building model kits? Are you skateboarding with one shoe? Let me know what's going on. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys. And remember to do me the most important favor. I need you to stay lame.